Hello, I'm Zorab and this is Byther Farm, and this morning I'm planting garlic. I've ordered two different types, Germador and Mesodrome, and I'm getting these into the ground. They probably should have gone in November, but it's fine. They'll go in now, and hopefully we'll have a really nice garlic crop next year. So this morning I've been out and cleared the weeds from this bed by pulling them out at the roots and throwing them over the fence for the ducks, and they've really appreciated it. And I've also been through and dibbled the ground a little bit with my fingers, because there were quite a lot of holes in it where voles and possibly moles, but there's been activity underground, so I've been trying to get rid of some of those little runways in the soil. I'm still finding bits of that looks like it's a dock of some sort. And then I've marked out where I want my rows to go, using a stick at each end, and then using a dibber with string on it attached on each end. I've marked my line. Now I've just got to give a little shout out to Erica here to say thank you for my dibber, which she gave to me a month or so ago, and I hadn't used it until now. So I'm going to start getting this garlic in. I have put in a couple of rows over there, and now I'm getting this done. So you buy garlic by the bulb, and then you just break it open and get the individual pieces, little cloves, and you plant those with the root end down and the pointy end up. Now, I know quite a lot of people like to plant their onions and their garlic just below the surface. I like to plant it a little bit deeper than that, because we have a very active bird population here who are very keen on pulling out onions and garlic when you've planted them. So I'm going to plant them a little bit deeper, and then hopefully by the time they've actually sent a shoot up above soil level, their roots will have taken really good hold and prevent the birds from pulling them out. So I'm probably planting the base of it about 4 inches deep, so the top of it is covered by a couple of inches of soil. I've got to say, I do wish I could actually plant these as quickly as the sped up video shows. So I'm spacing them approximately 6 inches apart, just because I have the space, so they could go as little as 4 inches. And if you're using an intensive method of growing, they could probably go in much closer than that. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up or leave a comment, or both. And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that little bell to get a notification every time I upload a new video. At this end of the bed, I have a small trial going on. I have 6 different types of garlic. I've just planted 3 or 4 cloves of each of the 6 different types in rows across here. And what I want to do is see how the different varieties compare to each other. Not only that, but the same 6 varieties from the same bulbs are being planted by Hugh up in mid Wales. This garden is almost at sea level, not quite but almost, whereas Huw's is much higher up, and we're going to see whether the different altitudes and therefore the different climates also have a bearing on the production and the yields and the quality of the garlic that we managed to grow. So the 6 varieties that we're testing are Carcassonne, Early Purple, Germador, Messidorm, Provence and Solent White. So we've got a selection of different types of garlics there. I'm really interested to see how they grow. So over the next few months I will continue filming, we'll watch their progress, and next year we'll do a comparison with the harvests. I planted the first 3 rows using my hands, but to be honest, I am so cold and the ground is so cold that I'm now going to use the help of a small fork just to make some holes, because it was slow going and I had to keep stopping for cups of tea. And hopefully this way I'll get them in nice and quickly. Now I'm sure you can't help but notice this is not a garlic, that is an Asturian tree cabbage, and there were 4 left in here. I gave one to the ducks, one to each of the flocks of chickens, and this one is staying because I want some of that with my Christmas lunch. We won't have, I don't have any sprouts to have with lunch. Mr. J is really not keen on sprouts, and I didn't grow any this year. I haven't grown any for years actually. I might grow some next year, but I only need sort of 1 plant, possibly 2 if it's only me that's eating them. I'm conscious that I sound really out of breath. I'm probably not as out of breath as I sound. It is quite nippy out here. Now the other thing I'm going to do to protect my garlic cloves from birds is I'm going to put a cover over this. So here's the debris netting. Now there are 2 ways I can do it. I can literally just lay it on the ground, or I could make a little bit of a dome, and in some ways, because I've got to go round this, making a dome might make more sense. So I'll go and get my sticks and my hoops. So what I have are some bits of old metal tubing, which I just push into the ground, and then pop some of this piping over the top of it. Now I actually want this to go quite far into the ground if I can, partly because it's so windy here, and partly because I don't need a very tall tunnel, except for by the cabbage. So I've secured the end with 1 stick going through the holes on the centre line, and then folded the pieces round and used my hand fork just to secure it into the ground. So it doesn't need to be rock solid tight, but it does need to be enough to stop birds getting in. because if they get in, they won't necessarily be able to get out again. And so, wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for today, I hope it's a good one, and I also hope you'll join me again next time.